Hello and welcome to today's container gardening video. Here is my container garden. Today is going to be an update on how everything is doing, and then we'll do a few small tips at the end that I ended up learning this week. I'll start over here with my pimento melons, the hanging container here. So you can see there's a few flowers growing and they're doing pretty good, so I might be getting some fruit very soon from that. Let's see what happens. Next, we're going to look at all the peppers I have and the big plants. Right here first are my monster peppers. As you can see, they do have they have started to develop a little bit of rust, but as you can see, there are some peppers growing in there. And a lot of flowers and other small developing peppers all over. And there's 2 plants for that, so. Next are my Marconi peppers. And that's about my second tallest plant. Maybe the third. It's about tied with the with some of the other peppers, so. But as you can see, it has some flowers developing. Some more back here. Yeah, those are doing really good. Next are my Mira peppers. This is my tallest plant. Right here. As you can see, they're getting quite a few flowers. So they're doing pretty good. Almost up to my neighbor's front porch. Next, we're going to do the habananda. This is my smallest plant and the furthest behind everything else. There's the top of it right there. There's a small little plant in there. That one. There's this one right here. It's gaining a few little flowers, and I got another one laying back there. Next, we'll do my cherry hot peppers. As you can see, that plant is growing like crazy right now. There are peppers everywhere. There's a few bigger ones in there. I'm supposed to harvest them when they turn red. So some I need to wait for. But as you can see, there's a bunch of peppers all over the place in there. And next, in back, are my cayenne peppers. And they are probably my biggest plant right now and has the most peppers on it right now. It even has a branch that comes right out the side right here, as you can see. And there are a lot of peppers all over in there. And again, just need to wait for those peppers to turn red. Alright, those are my pepper plants. Now we'll go over here to the jelly melons. And that vine comes up from the bottom, goes along the fence a little ways here. That one's a bit more of a slower growing one, so you probably won't see flowers on that till the end of the season. I'm hoping I eventually get fruit from that one, but that one's kind of an iffy one. Very long season, and that's one of the ones I had that died in May, so had to restart that one. Next, we have my cucamelons, which are doing great. The actual plant, it's like a spider web right now, just going everywhere around here. It just goes along the fence here. It even stretches further than the jelly melons around the corner here, just going past it. And on the other side, there's a few vines all the way down here, almost all the way over to my passion fruit. And as you can see, there's a few little ones here and there around on it that will be ready to harvest very soon, probably. Basically just have to wait until they start to soften, and the bigger they get and the longer they're on this vine, the more of a sour citrusy taste they get. But yeah, they're all over over here. These ones down here are a few new ones I actually am just seeing right now. So, all right, and then next we'll do my dragon fruit cactus, which stretches way up here and has 2 new shoots coming off of it that are growing quite big and quite quickly. I'm excited about that one. It would be awesome if it can grow big enough and start producing fruit, but I kind of doubt that. It'll probably be next year when that produces fruit. Next we'll do my soybeans. As you can see, they're doing great. And there's lots of soybeans on there, and they're starting to fatten up right now, so I'll be able to harvest those real soon. Next we'll do my passion fruit vine, which there's still that one single fruit right here right now. I will explain why that is towards the end of this video. But that vine stretches all the way up. We'll go right down here. Goes all the way up and it goes past the peppers on that side. You might have saw that earlier in the video when I was showing you the pimento melons. Next we'll go down here to the kiwis. This is the best view down here. Lots of little kiwis all over on it. I wait till those get a little bit bigger, and then they'll start to soften, and then that's when I can harvest them. And this plant, it has a very, very sweet smell to it. It's a very good smelling plant. I can't exactly explain what it smells like though. Alright. And over here we have my pot that has a bunch of flowers in it, and then also has the giant elephant ear leaves in it. As you can see, everything is doing really great. Lots of flowers popping up all over the place randomly. And like I said at the beginning of these videos, this plant I originally just sprinkled a bunch of random seeds in it, and as you can see, they're very compact down there. I just sprinkled them all over the place, and they're growing quite well. So that was a little experiment, and that's doing really good. Over here is the tomato plant, the midnight tomatoes. They're black on top, and they eventually will be red on the bottom. You can see down here, that one's actually turning orange and starting to turn red. Got one there, and also have one hidden right up there. So I'm very excited about that. Maybe might be able to harvest by next week's video. Alright, and next is my cantaloupe. And that's doing really good. I kind of moved the vines around a little bit to make it a little bit more compact because it was growing all around the sidewalk down here. So I pushed it back and trimmed it up a little bit. It has lots of flowers on it. I'll give you a tip on that later towards the end of the video too. That's one of the other tips I have. And now we have my tomatillos, which are doing pretty good. The plant's probably about 3 feet tall right now. Started those from seeds at the beginning of the season. Those ones also died with the frost. So I ended up planting this about the start of June. Has flowers growing, so I'm expecting to possibly start seeing fruit develop by next week. There's a grouping of flowers here, and another grouping on top of this one. Next we have my Nardillo. Very, very spiky plant. Spiky as ever. Spikes on top and bottom of the leaves. No flowers or fruit developing on that yet, but that might be a long season one, so we'll see what happens there. Found out that this plant, because it has all the spikes on it, is actually more of a wild grown one. Found out that the cultivated ones that are normally grown don't really have the spikes on them. But that's not a problem because this should still produce fruit. I just don't know as much information about it. So just like a bunch of these other plants, I just grew it based off of just the enjoyment of doing it. So as you can see, it's doing quite well. And over here are my fruit trees. So here's my 2 fig trees, or 3 I should say, because there's 2 in this pot. So as you can see, a tall one here at the beginning when I first started my videos, it was a little waterlogged and lost all its leaves. Started to get root rot. As you can see, it's doing much better now and it's starting to gain its leaves back quite quickly. So that's doing really good. Back here we have my clementine tree. It's doing very good. It's starting to grow some more little leaves up on top here. So we'll see how that does. It'd be really nice if that produces fruit this year, but I don't think it will be this year. So, and over here, growing like crazy, my pink lemon tree. Last week's video, all these leaves on the end were bright pink, very small. Now they've grown really big and they're starting to stretch way out all over the place. This tree is starting to get actually quite a bit bigger. Alright, and now for what I was talking about earlier for the tips, some things that I managed to figure out and learn. My passion fruit vine, it started developing that fruit maybe about a month ago, which it's still not ripe yet, but I figured out why it's not producing any more fruit. And that's just because I don't have as good of a watering schedule as I should. The passion fruit vines and a lot of other plants actually will produce their fruit and flowers if they have a constant watering schedule. That means they get enough water and it's often enough, which means I should also be watering it whenever it rains even. So I'm basically right now watering it about every 2 days, and basically watering it until water is coming out of the bottom of the pot. And I'm hoping that watering it like that will start to make it produce more fruit and flowers. But only time will tell, so we'll see how that ends up working. And the other tip for today, the melons over here. I found out that all these flowers that are growing on it most likely will not produce fruit, because cantaloupe actually has male and female flowers on different sections of the vine, and all these flowers you see right now are all male flowers. They produce their male flowers a lot earlier in the season, and then later on they'll produce their female flowers. And then once they produce their female flowers, those will start getting pollinated and producing fruit. But until then, it just has a bunch of little male flowers right now. And the female flowers will produce later in the season and then start producing fruit. So those are my tips for today. Don't forget to subscribe to my videos to stay up to date. And I will see everyone next time. Thanks for watching.